Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
What's up? Big Herc 916, getting down fresh out. You're tuned into another Prison Talk. Had a viewer email us about what we thought of the video of Puffy beating up Cassidy in the hotel. And, a lot of people defended Puffy. A lot of people said that he was a target because he was a rich black man. And, if you were a friend of Puffy's, naturally the thing to do would be to defend him, based on your relationship with him. But looking at the situation now, and this is a 2016 video, so it wasn't like this is something that just happened that they released. This is something that the powers that be had in their pocket that they were just waiting to drop. And I guess allegedly he had previously paid off the hotel to purchase this surveillance video so that it wouldn't be released. And, based on Cassidy's civil suit she filed that was settled within 24 hours, it makes sense. Because when you watch the video, it looked like she was trying to escape. She had some things in her hand and she was trying to get the hell out of there. And it's obvious she was trying to escape because he was in a towel and socks and ran out after her and slapped her, punched her, grabbed her by the hair, kicked her, and dragged her back into the room. So who knows what happened once she got back into the hotel room for trying to escape. That video is very telling. And for it to happen in a public venue like that, it wasn't the first time. See, a person who preys on women, somebody who's a abuser, they have steps before they get to the point where they're comfortable doing public ass whoopings. So that public ass whooping obviously was a prequel to previous ass whoopings, and it just happened to be exposed. But the apology video afterwards, I seen the apology video. I don't know Puff Daddy, man. I'm just going off what looks like everybody else, and commentating just like every other social media person. So, you could talk shit, but hey, man, this is what everybody's talking about. So, over here on Fresh Out, we're going to speak on it because we just had a woman who was on our channel who got beat up by her boyfriend, stomped out, kicked out, beat up, Lady Perps, and she went and got a knife to defend herself and had to do 2 years, 8 months. And because she didn't tell her side of the story, they went with the boyfriends, and yeah, she stabbed him, but it was self-defense. And she was getting her ass whooped. So here is Cassie getting her ass whooped. She didn't pull out a knife or she didn't go after him, but then we have the abuser apologizing, but you heard no apology to Cassidy. Was it just because this person got caught? Because they didn't say this apology prior to the video. They didn't say it after they settled to say, hey, you know what, I made some mistakes. And, yeah, Cassidy, I did treat you very bad during a relationship, or I participated in this and that. And, people say, well, Cassidy was in a relationship. She didn't leave. And, if anybody who's been in an abusive relationship, that's one of the hardest relationships to break away from. I've seen women be in relationships where they're verbally abused, relationships where they're physically abused, and there's something there, and that's why a lot of times family don't get involved, because the women go back to the abuser. They feel like that abuse is a part of the love triangle, the sex, the abuse, the romance. They think it's all connected, and they don't know how to disconnect. So, people, you could say, oh, you should have left earlier, but it's easier said than done. My wife and I used to donate household products and clothing to the women's shelter, battered women's shelter in LA. And, it's a nondescript place. They make sure they're really low key. And these women, a lot of them leave on a whim. Boyfriend passes out, husband passes out, or they go to the gas station, whoever, they leave the house, whatever the boyfriend does or husband does, and they just go. They don't have time to pack, they just leave. And it's at a point where they can't take it anymore. So, I sympathize with women in relationships like this. To pick up a limited edition GTA poster signed by me for $10, or with your purchase of a Wig Splitter Porsche t-shirt, I'll throw in a free poster signed. Is not anything to brag about. And people want something from certain people, so they just turn the blind eye a lot of times and continue to do business with people like this, because they feel like, hey, it's not me. But if that's your daughter, that's your niece, that's your granddaughter, how would you feel? Would you be as passive about the situation, knowing that she was getting her ass beat, but she was also, girlfriend or partner with somebody who had a lot of money, and you got perks with that? So this is a chess game being played out, and the feds are letting it be known that they have chess pieces on the board. Puffy's already let it be known that he has chess pieces on the board, because the raid and the multi-news coverage, he's still free. And there's very few people you can look at that have had this type of media coverage that haven't been arrested. So the man he's quite smart in whatever moves he's playing, smarter than most people who are playing the game at this level. As of right now, we don't know how this is going to play out long term, but we could see that whatever negotiations are going on behind closed doors are being played out for the public to make judgment. You've seen how they kind of played out the R. Kelly situation, and what that led to. You've seen how they played out the Bill Cosby situation and what that led to. This case right here is bigger than both of those, because there's some there's some, what they say, allegedly some footage of very important people on video being compromised that could significantly affect the finances of other invested interests across multiple platforms and arenas. So it's a whole nother game being played here. Epstein had a game on his island, but P. Diddy allegedly had a game that it must have been bigger than Epstein's, because he's not locked up. And you see how they did Epstein. So allegedly he hung himself in his cell or whatever they said he did, but man, come on. We don't know if that man took off. You never seen an autopsy, you never seen a body. You don't know what's going on, and the people who wanted him silenced were very powerful people, just like the people who are looking for those videotapes that are in possession of Diddy. And anybody who's smart, you don't have just one copy, you don't have two copies, you got multiple copies in multiple places. And when you're playing that game and you're going to play it at that level, you probably have international, foreign assets who are assisting you in certain ways, so that way you can keep your ass out of prison, out of jail, because the charges will be very serious, and most likely, accidents happen in prison all the time. So the ass whooping, to me, 2016, they said the statute of limitation has ran its course, but hey, the statute of limitation ran its course on Bill Cosby, but they still prosecuted the man. So we're gonna see. It's interesting. I'm not a prosecutor. The only other people that can move like P. Diddy are moving are people who are tied into the government, people who have really powerful political ties. I don't know what ties the man has. Like I said, I'm an observer like you, but I've been around some high-powered people in prison, some people who move in silence, who in one way or the other were compromised and got put in prison, but were very powerful movers and shakers on the street. And this person, P. Diddy, is a very powerful mover and shaker on the street. And, he's got some smart lawyers and other consultants giving him advice. And you notice, like I said, he never apologized directly to Cassidy. And now they said there's another case being filed, allegedly by a model who said she was violated by this individual. I just seen something that popped up on social media and said she had the clothes still in a plastic bag from the night of the incident. So this shit is just like, it's gonna just keep unfolding, like, different chapters, and this is a game. Like, hey, you don't want to give this, and we're just gonna keep unleashing, and let the public, kind of just have their way with you as far as their perception, and then by that time, whatever you have will be considered partially watered down, if it can be watered down, and whatever deal is going to be cut is going to be cut. But I don't see this man wanting to do a day in jail. I don't see him pleading to anything to go to jail. So this is going to be something that is going to definitely, I think, go the distance until somebody says checkmate. You let me know what you think. Leave a comment, share the channel, subscribe. They kind of throttling us down over here, but hey, we keep it raw and real. And like I said, I'm not a prosecutor. I'm not anybody tied in with the government as far as knowing the inside scoop. I'm just an outside person looking in, like you guys, sharing and watching this go down in real time. And it's being played out on the media, social media, and everywhere else. And it's interesting, And like I said, most people who would have been involved in anything close to this would have already been locked up and sitting somewhere without any type of interaction with a lawyer, because they're going to isolate you and make you sweat it out. But this man is, conducting business from a different mountaintop, and so we'll see how it goes. But the ass whooping, man, I think I've heard a couple other people talking about it, and now changing their tone and taking the racial and everything else out of it and saying, well, this is a despicable person. So hey, man, let me know what you think. Big Herc 916, fresh out.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in.
Officially, I only got one real spanking my entire life. My mom did the best a 14-year-old could do, raising me with love and instilling values that will last a lifetime. I was a straight-A student and lived to make her happy. So how did I go astray? A horrible stepdad that stole my self-worth and invoked fear turned me into a person that I struggled to overcome. From skateboarding to selling drugs, gang banging in juvenile hall, I got caught the same way many young promising men get caught up. I struggled to find my identity, getting mixed up in shootouts, crime, and the adult entertainment industry. This roller coaster continued as I juggled college, hustling, and Hollywood, eventually catching a federal bank robbery case. I found redemption in prison while serving a 120-month federal sentence and came out a man on a mission. I became a social media influencer with over 500 million views on YouTube and a life coach mentoring people all over the world. This is my journey.
I'm Big Hurt, and I have over a decade of experience in the prison system. Yeah, I've done a lot of time, made a lot of stupid mistakes, but that's why I'm here with you today, educating you on the Mastermind program by Fresh Out. See, they don't give you a manual when you go to jail on how to survive. They don't tell you how to go take a shower, where to sit at when you go to chow, what to do when you have mail call, how to handle your commissary. See, we cover that and a multitude of other topics that are very important, because if you do the wrong thing, you can get your damn wig split. We have over 100 million views as of date on our YouTube channel, but we've put and condensed all this knowledge into this Mastermind program so that you can provide your client with a winning chance. Do yourself a favor and your client a favor and sign them up for our program, so they don't have to get their wig split and they can make it out alive.